Yay.
Yay.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. Awesome. Okay.
Here's our public participation.
All right. Oh, what's the kitty's name?
FIFA.
FIFA. Hey, FIFA.
Because she's like a soccer ball.
FIFA, FIFA, fo fum, FIFA. Okay, I just came from soccer. Girls team are playing. It's nothing at the moment. Oh, tough. Okay. I don't have the agenda in front of me. Darn it. Does anybody have the agenda in front of them?
I can find that. Maybe.
Find it. Mailboxes. Flag.
There we go. I got that.
Got it. What first thing? Treasurer's report.
Attendance. Yep. Treasurer's report.
Okay. Does everybody have a copy of the treasurer's report? You probably don't, Sarah. Jesse just sent it to us, and we have $3,435.98 left in our regular account. So we can hire people to weed and do stuff.
I think we need to tell the town that we want to do that now to start that process. So that way it's in place April and May.
Right.
And that way we can ignore all their excuses, because if they hire Davis in the tax collector's office, then they can hire people for us as well.
Right. But we can hire. We could also. I don't know if we have students who want to do the work, but we could also pay a company, a landscaping company, this year.
Perfect. Even better.
How many students are looking for work right now? I mean, over the summer, I think we should hire students. I agree, because they need summer jobs. But right now, we could pay a landscaping person. The people who mow have another guy who does the other kinds of work, and so we could just have him do it. We've always tried to be so economical, I don't think we need to be. Rachel, did you submit your receipt for the art supply?
I did not. Between me remembering to take it with me when I leave the house, and between remembering and having a moment to actually stop at the town hall. So it's by my back door, and I just wrote a sticky note. So I also have a check from your daughter from artwork percentage. So I do have that as well. So they both need to go there. So
right.
My goal is I might be able to do it tomorrow during my prep if they're I don't know what their hours are. I guess I could just look that up.
Not open tomorrow.
Okay.
You're off the hook.
So next week.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get that done. We
Yes.
have $8,000 in our friends account, Sarah. And we can use that. The trees that we've talked about putting in. Jessie was supposed to research whether we could find those ones. She's not here to tell us, but we definitely should use that money for those trees.
I agree. And also maybe to buy mulch if we don't get this free mulch. We have it all set and ready to go. So like,
if it doesn't come by the time your students come, or like a week before, I should buy a truckload of it and have it dumped, and we can have them come in.
We're coming today.
Sorry?
We're coming on the 1st. We're coming on the 1st. We're coming on Tuesday.
Oh, wow. Okay. I will try and get some tomorrow. Okay. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm going to send them down, and then I'm going to be there at like 3. I have to run the English department meeting.
Okay.
So I'm going to send them, and then I'll be there as soon as I'm done with the English stuff.
Yeah, depending on how my husband is feeling, I can try to be there. He's having a really difficult time at the moment. So if he's well, I can come down. If I can't leave him, I can't. So I'll try.
I can try to get there. What time are you sending them, Sarah? Oh, at
like 2:30. 2:30.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that I have that day, but I will.
Do you have your department meeting that day, or do you have it on Wednesday?
Ours are on Wednesday.
Okay. So because English is on Tuesdays and then I have social studies on Wednesdays, and that's a new thing. I didn't expect that when I picked these dates. because I didn't expect to be department chair of 2 departments.
Yeah.
So I will be there. The meeting will end, we end right at 3, so I will go right down. So
Okay.
and I can assign jobs, like I can do all that beforehand.
Yep.
And I can go down during my prep and get out the rakes and get out everything that's needed. That's not a problem. I just need them when they get there to have like direction, and I can tell you exactly what they need to
Yep.
do.
I think as far as I'm concerned, I think I can be there.
Okay.
I would need to leave by 3:30 for a chiropractor
yeah.
appointment, but that works for you.
Yeah.
And as I say, I will try to be there, but I can't say I will. How many kids are coming?
Like 30.
Okay, so we would want them both to dig the hostas up under the yew tree and move them, and rake. Right? I can't
Yep.
hear you. I'm sorry, I lost that.
So
I think that was a yes.
Okay, great. Well, I'll try to be there too. As I say, I'll do my very best to be there. But we've got lots of rakes and we've got shovels, so there shouldn't be any problem. And you know, if anything else is needed, there's always weeds to pull, so we can assign
Yeah.
them to all of that. I had my grandson down there a couple of weekends ago, and we dug some more circles around the trees, ready for wood chips.
Good.
If I
Good.
can get wood chips delivered by Tuesday, then they can spread wood chips around all those circles, and that would be the wheelbarrows and the rakes, and that would be great. I will do my best to try and get the wood chips there.
Yeah, I think, and like you said, there's plenty to weed and raking and all of that. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the leaves are supposed to be raked up. That the mowing man he doesn't collect his mowings, so he will just spread the leaves. You know, he mows, but he doesn't collect it into a bag and take it away with him. He just spreads it. So that could be a problem.
Sarah said she'll be back in a minute. She's in a dead zone, so she'll join us in a minute.
Okay. The fall festival. What are your thoughts about that, Rachel? You put a lot of thought and effort into the craft, and we had a family that loved it. But one family. We have great.
Yeah, and I guess like they were great and they were so happy, and so it's like, okay, I'm glad that they were happy about it. I guess our question is, our like the thing is like, do we want to keep doing things for kids? Or do we want to center it more on just like being like having the space and enjoying it and doing walks and the scavenger hunt and advertising more that like it's even there, or advertising more. I don't know. Or if we do the kids thing, we have to like promote the heck out of it.
Yeah. We've got the banners. We've now got the spring festival, the spring whatever banner, and the celebrate spring and fall festival banners. The
spring was pretty good.
What's that?
The spring one was pretty good.
Basically because Kirsten brought her Girl Scout troop.
Yeah.
And that brought the numbers up. And so maybe that's the route we should be going, is notifying homeschoolers, Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops, rather than just generally out to the public.
Yeah.
Get hold of like the leaders of these troops and say, this is happening, and you know, bring your guys. The last Green Valley walks. I mean, one walk, I had 4 people. 2 walks, I had 10 to 12 people.
Oh, wow.
So they were adults. I was happy to do this, just the 4 people. They came from Woodstock and hadn't been to the Arboretum before.
That's good. Because that's really what we want. Because then we have adults that can be on the committee and help. Or can help.
None of them were offering to weed. But yeah, I mean, I think somehow we need to let people know in the town to come. but you can bring a
We-
whole.
we've been talking about that even with like Loose and with the gallery openings and things like that, of like, how do you get the information to people? Without, I mean, and I don't really like I don't like relying on Facebook.
Right. And
Um,
we used Facebook for that event. Sarah
Mhm.
put it out on her Facebook site.
Mhm.
It didn't seem to bring any more people in.
yeah.
I don't know how one does it.
And there's so much, I mean, in the fall, there's so much competition from sports and other things. And I guess there's sports in the spring too. It just feels like there was a lot of other things going on that weekend. Maybe that's just not a good weekend to do it. Maybe we do it a different weekend where people aren't as booked or traveling or something.
And maybe we gear it to, I don't know, people learning in retirement. Maybe we should
Mhm.
advertise through that group at QVCD,
Mhm.
because those seem to be the people who come to the Last Green Valley walks.
Yeah.
Older, retired people who are still agile.
Mhm. My grandmother does a lot with that. She
Hey.
has some role. And so like I could reach out to her too as a way to, I mean, I know there's probably someone to email, but they do stuff all the time. So
Okay.
that could be the way to go. Maybe kids, maybe we have the kids scavenger hunt in case someone wants to bring grandkids, but maybe.
And we could always leave some scavenger hunt papers in the mailbox
Mhm.
so that kids can just do it, just like the clues for the letterboxing are in the mailbox.
Mhm.
I'm sure that Crystal would be happy to laminate some
Mhm.
of those things, and that they would be put in there, and then the kids can take them out whenever they feel like it, and then put them back in.
Little expo marker or something if they wanted to check something off.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, you got no interest from the Woodstock Orchards, right? To do anything.
They were very, I mean, I kind of like brought it up one time when I was in there and they were like, yeah, like they're just so busy. I think that time of year that they're kind of like all that they can do. And we called them the day of and we're like, hey, if you could just send people down. But I think that's not their priority when they're trying to get through
right
donuts and everything.
Right. There's Sarah, but she's muted.
No, I'm not. I'm here. I just flipped the devices. That's why I went to
You're not in a car anymore, huh?
Nope.
Oh, that's good. I was a little concerned about you. You look like you were spinning and you were all over.
I was just driving. Just
that was why I was concerned. Yeah, we're talking about the festivals, Sarah. Right now, this fall festival, and how do we get people to use the Arboretum? Should we be happy that we had one family who came to the festival and had a blast? And I did the 3 LGV walks and got 4 people at one walk and about 10 people at the other 2 walks each.
Oh, wow.
So there were people who came.
That's good.
I wonder if it'd be worth it to do it like really just if we want to. Well, I heard what Rachel said about all being done during sports. I think that has something to do with it for sure. And I think the falls are really busy with there's like all this weather right now we're having is bonus weather. So we're not used to having it be this nice. But I wonder if it'd be worth it to maybe reach out to like Northwoods and be like, here's a after school activity that you could bring your daycare kids to, or your kid, like whatever, or you reach out to the Camp Woodstock daycare, or reach out to like doing something right after school or something, as opposed to on the weekends. I'm gonna flip on my light. Hold on a sec.
The other thing I thought about was if we advertise specifically what it entailed, because festival can just mean so many things that it's like, what if we said like, come make like tissue paper lanterns with us, like, or come do a leaf rubbing activity or come plant a tree, like take a picture of it, have it like, when I did stuff at like Board and Paint, where we would specifically say like, this is what we're doing, come do this. Because I don't know if they know what to expect. I mean, I think we maybe listed some of it on the spring stuff.
Yeah, I think both of them listed some of it, but not necessarily specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're interested in setting up like an after-school camp.
No, this would be like once.
We're talking more about a one-shot deal, but specifically targeting different. We talked, Sarah, before you came on, about like targeting Girl Scout troops and Brownie troops and homeschool groups, where the parent are looking for activities, and they would organize the transport there, and we would run a program for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be much more things like one and done. Like let's show you what the Arboretum is. Let's do an activity, and then encourage you to come back on your own.
Right. That's what I do with the Musgreen Valley walks. And the other thought was to go through learning in retirement. Rachel says that her mother is very involved in that program, and there may be a way of getting, because all the people who came on the LGV walks are retired older people.
Mhm.
They, they're the people who are looking for things to do, and they were still active, so they would be able to walk the Arboretum, and they're the people who have money who would contribute if we wanted to do a fundraiser too, I think.
Sure, absolutely.
But they're not volunteering to weed.
No, that's what we have the high school kids for.
Right. Or we use our funding for,
Yep.
But I have not heard anything from Julian, which is upsetting. So I'm going to go after him again. He was supposed to have written up a whole report for us, and he did all that. He took the samples from the trees that are sick, and we were supposed to have run those through a lab, and we should have got some feedback on what happened to them, and he was going to treat the trees. But I haven't heard anything from him. And he's an ex-Woodstock Academy student, so he's very keen on the Arboretum, but he's a little delinquent.
I think the more we can do to just let people know that it's even there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, again, like it's all about how to get that information to people, but I can't tell you the number of people that I've talked to, even at the academy, like adults that are like, where is that? What is that? Like most people that have lived in Woodstock their whole lives or have worked at the academy for a while, and they just don't know what it is or where it is.
Well, I mean, should we put some money into publicity, producing some kind of a little flyer that's at the town hall that gets sent home to everybody? That, I don't know, or does it go straight in the garbage?
I don't know. I guess that's a good question. I mean,
I don't know what I mean, what are we trying to, if we just want people to use the park when they go there, then we have to showcase it. Because if you get a flyer in the mail that says, go to the Arboretum and walk around, you'll be like, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, that's what I just think.
Well, and I think like the art show was a good way. We got a lot of artists to go who had never been there, but they went there to create their artwork or to get photos to create their artwork. We had a couple kids that contributed. So they went with their families, some homeschool kids who went with their group and contributed art, but had never been there. And we're going to go back again. And then I brought several students. I mean, I brought all my classes, so 70-ish students, and they all loved it and enjoyed it. So like, I think that was it was a lot of work, but it was an example of like a successful event where we got a lot of information out to people who then plan to go back.
Do you still see any of those students, Rachel?
Some of them.
I mean, could you ask them if they've ever gone back?
I mean,
just to have that information, because you're saying 70 students you've taken down there. Has any one of those 70 students taken their date down there, gone down there, gone down to read or write or draw or photograph or anything? It would be good to know.
Yeah. I mean, and the students that helped, or one of the students that helped with the craft table at the fall festival, she was like, oh, I know where it is. I loved it when we came here. This was really fun. She didn't go back on her own, but she knew right where it was and had like a positive experience. But I can ask and just kind of see.
I would just be interested to see if any of them have actually taken advantage
Mhm.
of it or not. I mean, people go to the town beach because they want to swim. right?
Yep.
That's the other part. It's not really a hiking place. You know, you walk down the hill, you walk back up the hill again. A, a reading place, a picnic place. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we have a messaging problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think we don't know what we are, so we don't know how to message it. I mean, the original intent was to be what?
You know, an arboretum is a place for education, recreation, and relaxation, isn't it? Isn't that what they said?
So,
That's what it says on the post on the sign outside.
so I think, yeah, I think so. That's how. I think having events like the walks, I think having, what about, not the paint by numbers, but like you just said the word it is, Rachel, I forgot I'm on like 4 hours of sleep in 4 days. What is the paint thing?
What
We're
is
like Lisa used to do it. You go in, you follow her and you make your own
Oh,
paint.
like a paint and sip type.
Yeah,
thing.
paint sip. Like I think that would be something cool in the
Like
spring to do.
Art in the Arboretum series.
Art in the Arboretum, and ask if someone would be willing to do something like that. We supply everything, the paint, whatever, but then you're getting more people out there. And I
Mhm.
think, and then as a part of that messaging is to that, like, look at what you can like, we get them out there and then we can say, and now you can come back with your family, have a picnic,
Mhm.
come back and read, you can come back and do your own art,
Mhm.
like that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
No, I think
yeah,
that's a
And I
Good
think that was sort of the hope, like the walks are the hope for that. Maybe the art show is the hope for that. So I think we have to think of things like, we want people to use this space without us bringing them there. Like they just go. So we have to either get them there. We get them there by doing, I don't think we get them there by doing a family stuff on the weekend. I think, like you said, reach out to Girl Scouts groups, go out to Northwood and say, hey, why don't we every one Tuesday after school in May, you guys come down and we'll do an event. And like their families know, and that way maybe they come down there and like that. And so I think that's how we market ourselves, as opposed to just having these random weekend things where we don't know if people are coming and we do all this prep for no
Yeah.
reason. If we reach out to Girl Scouts, Northwood, the Academy, Woodstock Elementary, like, and then we do reach out to adults, do some art in the are in the Arboretum, or we
Yeah.
have a reader, or like someone, a book read thing, like we do in the Bracken, but it's someone who wrote a book about nature, wrote a book about art, and they have give us a little talk in the Arboretum, something like that would attract more people there.
Yeah.
I think, I think basically we have to target the audience and we have to specify the activity. Yeah, I agree. You know, Rachel, you put in a lot of work getting all the craft supplies and everything together for that fall festival. And
Well, I mean,
to have five
it
happy
wasn't,
people.
I mean, it was work, but I also did that for 8 years nonstop. So like, it wasn't, it wasn't a whole lot. And now we have the stuff. So I would hate to have spent $80 on a one-time
Right.
thing or $60 on a one-time thing. I've got all of it in a Rubbermaid tub. So we do art in the Arboretum, and it's for kids, and it's on a Thursday after school. Or we do, we specify and we target, we contact the Moms Club and we say, like, we're doing a toddler plant a tree activity
Yeah.
at 10 a.m. because for some reason that's when toddlers are the most docile, I guess.
Is that true? Do we know that? Is that true?
I went to a pumpkin carving party this weekend, and it was at 10 a.m. and everyone had their like small children, and I was like, what? Like, who carves a pumpkin at 10 a.m.? Not me. But all of the children were very happy. And then they had their chicken nuggets and they went down for a nap. So
Sounds perfect.
Yes,
I like to have my chicken nuggets and go down for a nap.
right. So, it's maybe targeting a group and asking them like, when is a good time for Girl Scouts to come, and let's do it. And that way we know we have at least 8 people that are going to be there or whatever.
And we could have Cub Scouts as well. But it doesn't have to be all girls.
It's true.
Correct.
Boys too.
That's true.
Okay, those are great ideas. So we will. Now, do you think we should have like a flyer for each of those groups, like a flyer that we put together and then send it to the leaders of those groups, or should each of us reach out to a group that we have some to contact with? You think a personal reach out is better?
I mean, I think it's always personal is usually always better, but I don't want to like forget someone. Just
Follow it
because-
up with a flyer. In fact, why don't I try and put together some kind of informational stuff, and then let you take a look at it, and
Mhm,
each of you think about which group you're connected with.
mhm,
Kirsten is a Brownie leader, so I can get hold of
mhm.
other Brownie and Girl Scout leaders through her.
I've got my friend's the president of the Moms Club, and then my grandma's some sort of important person in the learning and retirement group.
Okay, so we give you those two. Okay.
I don't hang out with anyone. I'm only tied to Woodstock Academy. It's my death grip and lifeline at the same time.
I can do, I
can do
also know
real
some
homeschool.
homeschoolers too.
But you also mentioned Camp Northwood, the daycare. Sarah, do you know anybody?
No,
No.
I don't have my own children. I barely have, like barely survive. Actually, that's not true. I do know someone who works there. So yes, I can do Northwoods.
Because all Kirsten's kids went to Northwood, so I guess I can push it on her too.
No, I can do Northwoods. I know someone who worked there.
Okay.
They keep asking me to come do art for them, and I'm just like, no. In the summer, I'm like, absolutely not.
Oh, but then that's something to work on, Sarah. Instead of bugging Rachel, who is so uncooperative, well, you can bring your kids to the Arboretum and have craft.
There you go. Wait, what am I? So going back to W gives back where they're gonna rake, and what am I digging up? What do these things look
Pasta?
like? Because I'll dig up the wrong thing. What does that look
Oh,
like?
it's pretty. I have a bunch aside. I know what hosta is.
Yeah, it's underneath the yew tree. That first big yew tree as you go in at the south entrance, go down the hill, it's on your left. There are all of those hostas in the circle bed underneath it. And Julian had said, those are hostas.
Wait, those have to be dug up?
They should be dug
can
up and
spread 'em.
moved to the hosta bed. We've got a bed where the hostas are supposed to be planted. And he said that they are bad for the yew tree. The yew tree should
Okay.
not have competition for its roots. So we should dig those hostas up and move them.
Okay.
So if you know what a yew tree is, I know what hosta is.
I'm gonna assume it's all the ones that aren't where they're supposed to be, and that's what we should dig up. I'll go down there though on Monday or this weekend and look and take some pictures to get confirmation.
Right, sounds great. Okay, we
We'll
have
go
10 minutes
tomorrow.
left,
Put her
10
over my
minutes left
job.
of this meeting. It's a 40-minute meeting. That's my window of time. What else do we need to address? Anything else? Anybody got any thoughts about other people who could be on this committee?
Considering I'm not technically supposed to be on this committee,
Shh.
waiting for them to
We're being recorded, remember?
burn it.
That's why I said I could make the Zoom because I pay for it. Like
that-
I have a subscription. We can be on Zoom for 3 hours at a time. I still use it from offline.
Yeah, I have a 5 o'clock Zoom meeting coming up after this for the refugee thing, so I can't be on it for 3 hours. Anyhow, we
That's
don't need to be
good.
on it for 3 hours. We can talk faster.
Um,
Any
so
other?
we could brainstorm some ideas of people.
I don't.
You don't know anybody, Sarah, so that's
I really don't.
you know everybody. Come on. Mm-hmm.
I only know toddlers
And cats.
and cats. It's true.
Okay. I don't have any other business. Anybody got any other business? I think we've covered everything.
I'll get the checks in so we can square out the treasurer's report before. Look, are we not meeting in November?
We
Sure.
can, because I can't go on my trip anymore. So I'm going to be here for November.
Okay.
So I will not be going. Do we want to try and see, to pass off any of the raking or any other work to a commercial landscaper?
Well, I can't do it. There's no way I can do another day. Like I'm gone every single weekend with Molly UN in the month of November. So
Okay.
I think we do this one day and then we have to call someone to finish it up because
Anything
all
else?
the leaves aren't down yet. So like we'll do some of it.
Right.
But-
Anything that hasn't been done, we'll pay for. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. You agree with that, Rachel?
Yeah,
Terrific.
spend the money.
Okay, because we need to spend the money. We have to spend it before next June, right? So someone will have to come for the springtime, but the mowing is almost finished. I mean, the grass is there right now, but it's not going to be going much longer.
Send me back to Target. I'll spend it.
Well, I spent 300 and something on tools and the banner.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but when we use the tools,
Oh, we did. Yeah, and they were good. Those were bargain tools. Boy.
that was probably the best day we had because it wasn't a school day. So because the seniors didn't have school that day, they just came and they actually worked for a solid hour and 5 minutes and then we were done.
Mhm.
Great. That was terrific. Yeah,
Cancel school more often.
and
Yeah.
so I had Owen down there and and we did a couple more trees, circles around the trees. Don't pout. He works hard.
No, I know the poor kid, like, let's be nice, let's be gentle. Let's be gentle.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He worked very
Yeah.
hard for me. He planted 2 trees. We planted 2 button bushes in the swamp and he dug up 2 circles, which was great. So he's a good kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think we're all good to go. I will write up some kind of an informational thing and send it to you to take a look at. That if you wanted to hand it out to Northwood or the Moms Club or your mother, then that gives them some information, some basic stuff about what you could do at the Arboretum. You could have nature walks, nature talks, letterboxing, arts and crafts, hunting for animals and plants and leaves and things, seasonally appropriate stuff. Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody.
Rachel, are you gonna be in your room tomorrow? Are you doing your prep?
Ian teaches in there, but I can be.
Where do you usually go?
Wherever I can find an empty space, I can go wherever.
All right, I'm gonna go, I have to go up to North tomorrow. I have to talk to Bree, so I will stop at the Arboretum and take some pictures and we can try and figure out what we're doing.
I often hang out in the maker space if no one's in there. So I think if that's open, I'll be in there. If not, just text me.
Okay,
I can
All
give
right.
you-
Yeah, Sarah, it's the hostas are these bushy, sort of little low growing plants. that
I
go
know
up-
what those are. I know
Yeah.
that now that I've seen the picture now, but it's where they're going, because
Oh, well,
where they're going and all that stuff. This
They
yew
go-
tree is a mystery to me.
the yew tree is that big tree, first big tree after the ash on the left as you go
The
down.
entire Arboretum is big trees, Philippa.
No, this is a big spreading green tree.
That's our
Right there.
poster. The entire arboretum is big trees.
And
I'll take a right, okay.
if you
I'll
walk
look
around
at
the-
the
if you
called
go
the
down
yew
the hill and round to the left, that's where the hosta bed is. You can see the hosta bed, and so they should just going towards that hillside that is really steep and needs weeding badly, underneath the purple beach. So it's
Okay.
going
I
toward.
will look up all these trees on my on my phone and I will figure it out. And then as long as I don't have a meeting about leadership wrap up, then I'll head over to North tomorrow.
Okay, how was the conference today? Was it good?
It was awesome. It was probably our best one, even though you would think because we've done it so many times, we'd have it down pat, but inevitably John and I are running around like crazy people.
Hey, you just like to do that. You just enjoy running around like crazy.
All the time. And I don't want him to run because then he starts limping. So like, it is what it is. All righty.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Well.